Hi folks, the McCown boys here today again. Let's take a look at that, Frank. Um, so this is the third version. We always say everything takes four. You got to do it 4 times to get it right around here, okay? But this is much simpler. Cost. We got a lot of the costs out of it. Um, you're a little off the curb, but not bad. You're still able to cut. The blade is going to come down right about here, so it can go ahead 2 more inches and still be fully cutting into the asphalt and not into the curb. So, but it's we love this design so much more than the first two. It's really starting to come along nice. Why don't you take some of the weight off of it? I want to show them one feature. A little more. Okay, cut it off. Our old cylinders. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. Okay, didn't get much of a show, but come around the front, Frank, and yeah, just start it up so I can demo this. Okay, there you go. Pivot. We got a little bit of a. Let's take it across the street now. We discovered that the guys that were welding got a little bit exuberant in their full welds. And so we've got a little bit of a weld bead in there that's kind of blocking some of that pivot movement. Okay, so we get a few more degrees out of it in both directions. But why that's important is any other skid saw you're likely to get, including us, you've got this saw attachment stuck rigidly out into the front of a skid steer, and you just can't turn it. It's just one big solid rigid unit, and you can't put a pivot on it because then it would just go like this all by itself. You would actually have to put a hydraulic cylinder on it to steer the saw around,
or drive backwards.
All are bad solutions. So that's why the front mounted skid steers are not very popular, even though I've got another video I'm going to make today showing you our take on a front mounted skid steer because the customer wanted one. And then I'm going to show you how we can combine some of the features of that skid steer with this one. But this is pretty much how we're going to go with, you see this has still got, how far are you? Are you up against the curb?
It felt like I was.
Yep, and you can see that this bolt right here kind of represents, well, the blade's going to come down just ahead of that bolt, but you can see that we're not to the edge of the we're not beyond the edge of the concrete yet. Now come and take a look on the inside here, Frank, because this is going to come up. This other saw you've seen in other videos has got a patent pending a street side discharge feature. It's got a cam plate and some linkages, and it's got a dirt deflector that actually tracks the blade. Does a really good job on cleaning out the trench without a vacuum. Okay, and the dirt will come out right about here, and it'll fall down between the tire and what we call the pull box. Okay, so this will be the mounded dirt. You won't be driving over the top of it. It won't be in the curb and gutter. And the trench will be almost as clean as using a VacX, not quite, but much cleaner than the simple little gadget that they put on the door and just kind of scrapes the dirt out as it goes by. It misses so much. Those little dirt deflectors on this side miss at least a third of the dirt. It just goes right back up and over and right back down in your ditch. And a lot of guys that use those dirt deflectors cut the ditch twice and still don't get it completely clean. But that's a really good wrinkle. But I just wanted to mention it so you have that kind of in your mind when you see that other video of the dirt deflector rigidly mounted on the front of a skid steer. But we will make the dirt deflector, the side, we call it the side discharge. I came up, the name I've settled on for this is side cutter. And so a skid steer, so it'll be a saw 16-SS for skid steer, and this would be -SSSC for side cut. And then if you want side discharge added to it, add a SD on the end of that. A lot of letters, but at least it helps us to keep them all squared away. But the most important thing is this is going to come in somewhere around $22,500. I don't have all my costs together yet. And they add up as you get every little thing. We're working on how much paint does it take to paint it, and the cost of the sticker and all that crap. I try to do an exhaustive cost of goods sold so I know exactly where I stand. But if you consider that almost everybody has skid steers, and those that don't can rent them from a rental center or buy them cheap, used ones, this is the lowest cost way to get into microtrenching. Especially if you do side discharge and you don't need the vac. And then when it comes time to clean it up, you can get a street sweeper, broom, brush, box attachment for one of these. Take the saw off, go down the street, suck up all your dirt, put it in a dump trailer. You're going to be micro trenching for maybe $50,000. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we're getting close to the end. This is number 3. Number 4, we'll make a little bit of a change, but we'll probably sell this one. But that's the latest from Lake Wobegon.